Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Dallas Mountaineers boys lacrosse here on the show. Joining us is the head coach, Drew Abatangelo, and his assistant coach, Don Squire. Well, Drew, first-year coach for you. Let's first talk about your experience with lacrosse. What's your background with it?
All right, well, about 8 years ago, I started the youth program back in my hometown with my fellow high school coach in Orange County, New York. We really brought lacrosse into that area, starting with the youth and building it up to where it is now. And then currently I just finished playing my 4 years at Misericordia University. Was a two-time second-team all-conference defenseman, and, it helped lead the team to a championship game. Other than that, I'm just your basic coach who's ready to get these kids to the next level.
Drew, for you being a young coach, in one regard, hey, your hands were pretty wet playing the game and getting involved at the college level. But here you are, trying to work with high school kids. Tell us about those challenges and some of the rewards you've seen early in camp thus far.
Some of the challenges, I guess the kids, I'm closer to their age than their previous coaches, so that's always been a little bit of a challenge. But it's actually worked to our benefit because I can relate to the kids and what they're going through. Hey, I got schoolwork that needs to be done, but I have to get to practice. So it's just helping them along with that transition.
Drew Abatangelo, the new coach of Dallas, the boys lacrosse program here on the John Mendola Show. Well, first up, you got to score some goals to win the game. Drew, you're going to talk a little bit about the offense here at Dallas. Tell us about some of those goal scorers that are coming back this season.
All right. Well, on the offensive end, we have a pretty strong midfield. We have Jesse Good, Omar Nijme, Matt Ross, Stone Manello, all getting in to kind of work from the midfield area. And then we got, from our attack standpoint, we have freshmen mixing it up with the upperclassmen. We have Corey Metz, Connor Motley, Josh Colima, Brendan Ballo, and Keith Gillette. They're all getting in the mix, and they've really been competing with each other to get a spot on the field.
Drew, effort is so much, and of course what you've seen on the collegiate level on your end and being one of those guys that got some accolades on the collegiate end. Tell us about the heart effort that you're getting out of these kids from Dallas and what you're seeing as far as trying to leave it out on the field. And of course you're ready to mix it up and get some games going the way the weather's been going.
Right. With the weather, it's been pretty tough, but our biggest thing that we're trying to do here at Dallas is turn these young players into young men, and they've really taken that concept to heart. Everything we do is based off a team aspect, and they understand that they have to put the work in the gym in order to succeed out on the field. So we've all been on the same page in that aspect.
Drew, tell us a little bit about your assistant coach before we hear from him. Tell us about Don Squire and what he brings to your program.
Don Squire is my assistant coach. I've actually played with him at Misericordia for 3 years, and he's going to bring a defensive aspect to our game as well.
Well, let's welcome in assistant coach at Dallas, Don Squire, here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Don, you got a specialty. You're the defensive guy here. Let's talk about some of the players there at Dallas that are working hard for you.
All right. First, we're going to start with the goalie. That's really he's really the quarterback of our defense. He's a young kid, but it's going to be his first time varsity goalie. But he's really grown and matured, working real hard. Corey McAndrew, a.k.a. Goldberg. We really like him. Really like what he's done. He's really he knows what he needs to improve and what he needs to do to bring himself to the next level. Right now, our starting core guys, we have 3 seniors right now that are real strong on defense. Mike Shutlock, who's one of our captains, Mike Olajinsky. We have another senior, Kyle Llewellyn, who's just getting back into the swing of things, and we have a good sophomore, Max Gordon, who's really stepped up and worked real hard to put himself on right into the top, right into the mix. One of the hard things for us is really, we're coming from college, and I grew up on Long Island, so we're used to having a more, a set 6-man defensive rotation that we try to get on the field as defensive midfielders. So, we have a lot of younger guys and some newer guys that are really taking to that role and working hard to fill that void that, their stick skills might not really be fully developed yet to play offense, but they're really working hard and understanding the game and becoming, doing what they need to do to help the team win. Connor McCarty, he's really excelled. He's been great for us. And then we have senior Sean Cooper, as well as three other guys, Steven Scafidi, Isaiah Calvin, and Andrew Chrisman, really working hard. And really, honestly, the improvement and the amount of work they put in, I see only great things for these boys.
Don, to simulate the physical play of boys lacrosse, I'm sure it's a little tougher when the indoor practices are going on because, as Coach Abatangelo mentioned, it's hard to get outside. So do you find you're a little bit more behind on defense, or is it a little more natural to learn defense as opposed to trying to get the skills to put the ball in the net?
Well, I think we try to really, we're trying to bring like the college aspect to the program. So, we start with like that one-on-one, two-on-two work. So really being inside, it's not as detrimental because we're starting at the fundamental, building a foundation for that. As we progress, it does get a little harder trying to get as physical. However, we kind of tell the guys on defense, we want you to press out and be physical with the offensive guys because that's how it's going to be out on the field. And it's also worked well with the offensive guys because we tell them, look, you don't have as much space to work here. It's going to be harder. The defense is going to press out on you, so it helps them work well under pressure. So when we get on the field, they're a lot more comfortable in the open space.
That's Don Squire, assistant coach at Dallas for the boys lacrosse program here on the John Mendola Show. Drew, let's get back to you. How about the scouting report and stuff like that? I mean, you guys are kind of fresh off the boat in the sense of here you are coming from college to watch some high school hockey and to coach some high school lacrosse and watch some high school lacrosse. So tell us about what you know about the league and, of course, what you're expecting at Dallas.
All right. Well, first off, I have credit to my knowledge of scouting to my college coach, Jim Ricardo. He showed me the way of what I should be expecting to see from teams and where to look and who to look for and whatnot. But the coaches in the area have been a great help. I've been in email contact with them, starting to get to know the area and know the players and know what team's coming up, what team is on the rise, and stuff like that. So far, just positive things from the coaches in this area.
Well, it's a young and new approach at Dallas. Drew Abatangelo, Don Squire, the 1-2 punch at Dallas and the coaching staff ready to go and hit the Wyoming Valley Conference. And, of course, Delaware Valley is going to be pretty darn good. You got Scranton Prep will be good. Crestwood's an up-and-comer, and Dallas expected to have some of that talent as well this season. And new programs, Wyoming area hitting the lacrosse field as well. Gentlemen, my pleasure speaking with both of you, and we wish you luck here in your first season at Dallas.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much, John.
Drew Abatangelo, Don Squire, Dallas Boys Lacrosse here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.